I should know better than to go shopping on Saturday. I usually stay home on Saturdays and let the amateurs fight the traffic. But this particular Saturday I had an urgent need for I can't even remember what it was that I urgently needed, because I was so taken aback by that demonstration. I went to an arts and crafts store to buy some glue. Yes, that's it. I needed some glue. There wasn't a parking space for what seemed like miles from the entrance. Even for Saturday, the parking lot seemed unusually full. When I finally got to the store, I saw the reason for the crowd. There was a pottery demonstration. A famous potter was throwing a pot. Mind you, when they throw a pot, they're not talking about throwing a pot. That term comes from the start of the process. When the potter takes a lump of moist clay and throws it down onto the potter's wheel so that it will stick to the wheel. It's apparently very important that the clay not come loose from the wheel while the wheel is spinning. Anyway, this potter, who is apparently world-renowned, was hired by the craft store to demonstrate and promote the pottery wheels. And, he sold a lot of pottery wheels that day. He made throwing a pot look trivial. Within 5 minutes, he took a shapeless hunk of clay and shaped it and molded it into a useful and attractive work of art. That was the day I began my ministry with the church. Oh, I'm sorry. You probably wonder how I got from watching a pottery demonstration to getting hip deep in Christian ministry. Well, it isn't because the potter doing the demonstration was a Christian. As a matter of fact, he never even mentioned anything religious. So, it was not what he said that piqued my interest, but what he did. He said he was about to make a vase. And he described in advance what it would look like. He seemed to have a detailed mental image of what the vase would look like while it was still a shapeless lump of clay. As he slowly transformed that lump into a rather tall, shapely vase, he talked about other end products that he had made. An umbrella stand, a teapot, a dish garden, and about how the thickness, angles and edges of each would be different for each end product. That's when it hit me. I am that vase. When God made me, he had in mind what the end product would be. And he molded me and shaped me for a specific purpose. Not a single detail was overlooked. Of course, I'm far more complex than a vase. And God is far more skillful and detailed in the creative process than even that expert potter. What I'm trying to tell you is that, while I watch that potter shaping that vase, I realized that I have been skillfully shaped for a purpose in life. And just going to church on Sunday and even singing loud one day per week is not fulfilling the purpose I was skillfully shaped and molded for. Now, keep in mind, at that point, I had no idea what ministry God wanted me to do. All I knew was that spending an hour per week in church was not fulfilling my purpose. Fortunately, I had the example of the potter to help me find my ministry. For the potter, the shape of his creation suggests the use that it was shaped for. A vase is tall, narrow, and delicate in order to hold tall, narrow, and delicate flowers. The shapes of umbrella stands, teapots and ashtrays also suggests their ultimate purpose. The same seems to be true for the way we were shaped by God. My physical shape is just one of several shapes God has given me. He also shaped me with interests and experiences and even tragedies to toughen me, just like fire toughens a vase. To make a long story short, I experimented with a few ministries before I found one that fit my shape. But the moment I found the ministry I was shaped for, I immediately felt God's pleasure as I realized that the pot was finally doing what the potter shaped me for. Based on a play by Bob Snook. Conditions for use: do not sell any part of this script, even if you rewrite it. Pay no royalties, even if you make money from performances. You may reproduce and distribute this script freely, but all copies must contain this copyright statement.